Join me, Siphumelele Ndlovu, as we look back at the year 2023. Welcome to Oh What a Year It's Been. Sawbona, and welcome to yet another episode of Oh What a Year. My name is Siphumelele Ndlovu, your host. Thank you so much for watching and thank you so much for being here. So in this last episode of Oh What a Year It's Been, we're going to look at something that I think is so important for us to do as often as we can, and that is thinking about the things we are grateful for. Any time is a great time to be grateful, but I think nothing really gives you a bigger picture of how much you have to be grateful for than the end of one year and the beginning of another. And even if the year has been treacherous, but there are little gems here and there of things that you can look at that you can be grateful for in the grander scheme. So in this episode, we are asking, what are you grateful for? So as usual, before we start with the episode, I must give a quick disclaimer that I am not a qualified psychologist or therapist, and that this program is merely for discussion purposes. Any advice or opinion given during this episode is not a substitute for professional assistance. If you are dealing with a family, mental health, or personal matter, please do reach out to a trained professional. Free and affordable resources are in the description box below. Alright, let's get started. So the first one says, I'm grateful for life, Joe. 2023 was such an emotional roller coaster. It taught me how to slow down, reflect, and live in the moment, and show gratitude for those who mean the world to me. I've grown so much emotionally and mentally. I've learned to be intentional about my gratitude and showing people my love. I'm grateful for our small Instagram community. Y'all make life interesting, and I've learned so much from you guys. And you've made me laugh and cry at 6 a.m. before work. Yes, you, Spume. Okay, yeah, that is me. In essence, I'm grateful for the relationships I've formed this year. Thank you and Happy New Year. I love you. I love you too, girl. I think I know who this is. There is really so much to be grateful for. I'm breaking the fourth wall again here, but like when we look back to this person's response in the first episode where she was talking about moving to a new place and settling there and really having to find her place and her mom being ill and all of that sort of stuff. Like, it's so amazing when you look back at all of the challenges that you have faced in the year 2023 and see how you've made it. And not only the fact that you've made it, but you've made it and you've made deeper relationships with people. You formed a community for yourself, even when you found that you were in a new place with no community. Like, it's so important to be grateful for the little things and the big things. And I think this clearly reflects that. I'm so excited to see the things that you're going to do in the new year. Thank you so much for sharing. The next one says, I'm grateful for my grandmother, that she's alive. Living overseas has been hard for me, but what was harder was my grandmother being sick for 4 months straight. Every day waking up in pain. I'm far away. I cried myself to sleep every night, asking and begging God to keep her for me. And she's still alive. I am more than grateful. This response hits home so hard for me. And it's very crazy how my response to it has changed over time. So when it first hit the form, I knew all the things I was going to say. And it was honestly along the lines of, you have time with your grandmother right now. So I think instead of spending the time dreading that something is going to happen to her, spend the time and really make memories with her. It's harder because you're overseas, but thankfully with technology, you can literally have video calls with her and record those video calls and keep those special memories and conversations with her. I said, and I remember thinking how I'm going to say, we don't all need to record a 7-part series where we talk to our grandmothers and put it on YouTube. Like, you can literally have those conversations or have any conversations with her and record it for your own personal record. And I think that still applies. Like, I would still say that to you, but right now, like, I'm in a different place. So in the middle of December, my grandmother fell ill and she was admitted to hospital, and she was actually in ICU for quite a while. And I had never been that scared in my life. I went through so much because I was just so scared of losing her. And I remember I spent a lot of that time grieving her. And I spoke to my cousin and she was like, girl, like, don't spend the time you have with her grieving. And I came across a tweet just as the new year was starting, and someone was saying, don't grieve tomorrow's grief, or don't let tomorrow's grief steal today's joy. And that's really what I have to say to you right now is I'm so glad that your grandmother is healthy and that you are grateful for her. So use this time to really spend as much time as you can with her, even virtually, to make sure that you get all that love in and you get to love her and you show her that you love her and you appreciate her. Because unfortunately, at whatever time, and I hope it's not anytime soon, but at whatever time, the circle of life will do circle of life things, and we're going to have to get to a point where we are going to be having to grieve them. But right now is not that time. Yes, you guessed it. I'm going to go into Ecclesiastes 3. Ecclesiastes 3 says there is a time for everything. And right now is a time for us to be joyful. It's a time for us to collect all the love and get all the love in that we can with our grandmothers. So let's do exactly that. And when the time comes for the time to do time things, we'll deal with that. But right now, asibe happy. Thank you so much for sharing. The next one says, I'm grateful to have such an amazing support system, from my family to my friends to people I've never met before but have become friends on social media. Knowing that so many people are rooting for you, praying for you, and wanting only the best for you feels so amazing, especially because I feel exactly the same way about them too. Right? I genuinely feel like that as well. I think this year really showed me how supportive, how supported I am. I've always known that I come from a supportive family, but really how they rallied behind me and supported me with conversations was so amazing to me. My friends have held me up this year. Like, I've never been as low as I have this year, but I didn't hit rock bottom because my friends were there holding me up to make sure that I don't get there. The online communities that we have created for ourselves have really been something we can lean on for things that we can't exactly talk about to our family or whatever. Do you know what I mean? So I totally agree with you. There's so much to be grateful for, by the way, there's so much to be grateful for when it comes to having people around you, having people supporting you. I really hope that next year this continues for you. I really hope that in the year 2024, you experience this even more. Thank you so much for sharing. The next one says, genuinely, I'm not sure, but I also feel ungrateful saying that. I have an amazing partner and friends and my mother who's still alive. I have a job, even if it pays me nothing, but I can't lie and say I wouldn't choose death over this. I'm so sorry to hear that you are in this type of space, and understand that it's okay to sometimes have those feelings, because the type of experience or type of life experience you're having isn't one where you feel like being joyful and happy and whatever. But I think the people that you have mentioned are what you can be grateful for. Like, you can be grateful that you can be grateful for the fact that you have a mother who is still here and you can still learn and grow and get that love from her. It's amazing that you have good friends and a good partner who are there to be with you and support you and give you those little sparks of joy around you in life. So I do hope that the year 2024 is kinder to you, and I do hope that your support system continues to be there for you, and through their love show you that life can and is still so very beautiful. I'll be keeping you in my prayers. Happy New Year. The next one says, I'm grateful for my mother. That woman has my back. She will jump whenever I need her. She loves me so much, and I'm grateful to have her in my life. It's so nice to see people experiencing the type of mother that, like, we think or we hope and we want mothers to be, mothers who will support you, mothers who will make sure that their kids are all right. It's amazing that you get to experience that, and I really do hope that in your own way you are that for her as well. Thank you so much for sharing. I'm thankful for God, my ancestors, my man, in that order. This year almost broke me, and all I could turn to was God, my ancestors, and my man. Wow. That's so beautiful. Like, it's so beautiful to know that your biggest hope was God in everything that you were going through. It's great that you were leaning on your ancestors in everything that you're going through. And it's also amazing that you had a man who was going to be very supportive of you. I think in the absence of the things or the people that you didn't mention, it's nice to know that you do have people that are going to be there for you. My favorite part of this entry is like that you said, this year almost broke me. It almost broke you, but it didn't break you. And I think that's another thing that you can be grateful for, is the fact that the weapons formed. The weapons definitely formed, but they didn't prosper. I hope that going into the new year, you know that. I hope you go into the new year knowing that for a fact. I hope you go into the new year being sure of the fact that the weapons will form, because weapons must form, but they will never ever prosper. Continue leaning on God, continue leaning on your ancestors, and I really, really hope that your relationship with your man gets stronger and even better, so you can continue to lean on him as well. Thank you so much for sharing, and Happy New Year. The next one says, I'm grateful for my siblings, my ancestors, and God. They've all kept me going, all have challenged me, but most importantly, all have loved me. I think my response to this one is similar to the previous one, is that it's amazing that in all the things that were happening, you knew that you could rely on God, your ancestors, and your siblings. And the challenges are necessary. Honestly, no one likes challenges. We really could all do without challenges, but the challenges are necessary to sharpen us and to ensure that we become better people and we are better equipped for the greatness that God has in store for us. I really do hope that this year is even more amazing for you and your support system. May they continue to support you in the amazing things that I'm sure you'll do. Thank you so much for sharing. The next one says, I'm grateful for therapy, being privileged enough to go through therapy. I like this. I like the fact that you are going to therapy and you are grateful for therapy, because that shows me, Guti, you are seeing the benefits of therapy in your life. I think one of the things that I heard in one of my favorite podcasts called The Messy In Between is the fact that it sucks that we have to be privileged to access therapy, because everybody needs therapy. And they were talking about how there is this misconception that people who afford therapy are the ones who have the problems that need them to go to therapy, because if you're poor, if you don't have access or the resources to go to therapy, then you don't need therapy. And that's so wrong. I mean, they mentioned examples of how we see the fact that therapy is so needed in our community through substance abuse, through alcohol abuse, and through the insane rates of domestic violence in our societies. So everybody needs therapy, and it really sucks that it's something that we have to be privileged to get. But I really do commend you for going to therapy. Please do continue to do that. Anyone else who is seeking to go to therapy and feels like they don't have the resources or they can't afford it, please do find the free and affordable resources in the description box below. Help is available to you and you can access therapy. Thank you so much for sharing. The next one says, my friends and family. Girl, same. Yabo mingithi nje this year. Konje what does Linda Mdomo say? Yo, lo nyaka cishe wangiginqa phansi. Honestly, lo nyaka cishe wangiginqa phansi, but without the support of my friends and family, I really don't think Uguti I would have stood still against the wave that was the year 2023. So we are thankful to friends and we are thankful to family who continue to be there for us. May they continue to be there for us, and Nati, may we be able to show up for our people as well. Thank you so much for sharing. The next one says, I'm grateful for my mom's health. I'm grateful for your mom's health too. I don't have context of what was happening that would make you so grateful for this, but that is an amazing thing to be grateful for. I think, like I said, to the person who is living abroad away from their grandmother, I would really say the same thing with you, is spend time with your mother, showing her how grateful you are for her health, and enjoy her company. I think really, and this is so cliche, but I think we have time, and every day there are small reminders that we really don't have time. Like, life is long, but life is short, and we really should be using every moment we get to show the people that we are grateful for and that we love, that we are grateful for them and that we love them. And I'm happy that you're grateful for your mother's health. Now may you show it, and may you continue to be grateful for it and show her that you're grateful for it through the way that you treat her and that you interact with her. Thank you so much for sharing. All right, this is a 2-in-1 combo, and it's the last one before I go into mine. And the first one says, life, hey, I'm grateful for life. And the second one also says, I'm grateful for life. I think I am grateful for life. I am grateful for life in everything that life does. When life lives, I am grateful for life. I am grateful for my life. There are so many times that I know of, and even more that I don't know of, that harm might have or could have befallen me, but God and my ancestors fought for me, and they protected me, and they saved my life. I'm grateful for the lives of the people around me, my friends, my family, and my community on Instagram, and really everybody around me. I'm grateful for their lives, that they are alive, and that our lives get to cross paths and intersect the way that they are. I am grateful for life in how I speak. I am grateful for the fact that when I speak life. I'm grateful for the fact that I am able to have a positive attitude. I'm grateful for the fact that I have God in my life and He sustains my life. There is so much life to be grateful for, from the birds in the sky, the flowers in the gardens. There is so much life around us, and I am grateful for life, and I really do hope that life continues to be beautiful, because as always, life is still so beautiful. But yes, I agree with both of these people. I'm grateful for life. So in addition to life, I am grateful for the year 2023, honestly. When I started the year 2023, I remember journaling and calling it my year of the valley. It was a year where I remember saying that I'm not expecting champagne showers, not expecting a lot of like bling bling moments. Like, it's not going to be glamorous. And I'm not saying it's not going to be great, and I'm not saying that it's not going to be good, but it's not going to be glamorous, because it is the year in which I really needed to go into that valley and soak in all of the goodness in the dark cold of the valley. I started the year off after having an accident. I remember for a good month I was driving with my car, and my tail lamp was being held up with duct tape. Like, it was so terrible. I hated every moment. And after that just came the financial woes that were this year, and the terrible decisions that come with that. And I remember I was in a work environment that I was very unhappy in, and through all of those challenges, I really had to go deep and go into myself and really find the tools that I needed to claw myself out of that valley. And I'm grateful for that. I'm not grateful for the tough times, but I'm grateful for the fact that I made it out of the tough times with the tools that I now have. I remember saying that the year 2023 is the year I set the foundations for the life that I want to create for myself, and that's exactly what I did. I created, I started, I worked, I built up my confidence, and I am now in a place where I can confidently start something, knowing that I'll finish it, knowing that there'll be challenges, but that I'll rise above them. I'm so grateful for that. I am grateful for my friends, for my family. They have held me up. They've held me up in times where I was most hopeless, and they were there for me, all of them in their different ways, and all of them in important ways. I am grateful for my mental strength, for the ability to allow myself to be vulnerable and weak and broken. But I'm also grateful for the fact that I have the mental strength to, in that state, get up, dust myself off, and find a way to better. I am so proud of how mentally and emotionally strong I am, and I'm grateful for the support system that I have that allows me to break, and they hold me up, and as I'm building myself, they hold me up and they build with me. I'm so grateful for that. I'm grateful for my talents and my ingenuity. I'm grateful for the fact that I know my talents, and even though they scare me because of how huge they are, I use what I have at the moment that I have it to make things happen. I'm grateful to know that about myself, to know that I can make things happen. I'm grateful for my sense of self. I'm grateful for the fact that I know myself, I know my voice, and I can listen to myself. I'm grateful for the fact that I trust myself. There are so many things that happen in life. There are so many ways that we betray ourselves in life that it becomes difficult to trust ourselves, to know what's best for ourselves. I'm so happy that I found my voice, that I know my voice, and that I can trust my voice. I can trust myself. I'm so grateful for life, and I'm so grateful for God, and I'm so grateful for my ancestors and all the beautiful things that they make happen for me in this life. Thank you so much for tuning into this episode of Oh What a Year It's Been, the last episode of Oh What a Year It's Been. We then move on to Oh What a Year It's Going to Be, where we forecast our 2024. If you would like to participate, there are a few questions open. Please do click the link in the description box below to fill in the form. Thank you so much to everybody who participated. Please do remember to like, comment, and subscribe. And of course, share the content with your people. See you in the next episode. And until then, God is good and life is still so beautiful. If you want to be part of future episodes, simply click the link in the description box below to participate.